We've seen how we can report a MySQL error with the MySQL_error function. PHP has an automated error reporting system for syntax errors, as we've seen. We can't detect syntax errors inside a PHP script because the code is passed, that is checked for errors, before it executes and simply stops and reports the syntax error. But PHP also has a default error handler for a class of trappable errors, that is not syntax errors. The default error handler reports the error level, the message, an error file, the error line on which the file is, and then an array of arrays, which is for very complex error handling. You can even modify this with the setErrorHandler function by setting error handler to the name of a function which you design yourself. So this code inside the braces of the function is simply any code we like that uses the parameters of the default error handler. I've chosen here to simply print out or echo the values of the 5 parameters. And before we look at some examples, I'd just like you to note that you cannot trap syntax errors from inside a PHP script. Let's look at these examples. Let's open the snippet errors set error handler and save it as custom error testing.php. In the demo folder, because it's simply a demonstration, I'll collapse the connection script and just above the end line indicating the end of the script, paste in the trappable errors that we're going to look at. First one says echo 3 times variable A. Seems perfectly reasonable. The second one assigns a value to variable A and echoes the string length of variable A, 3. And finally, we do a little SQL script to insert a string into the test item field of table test. Let's save that and find it in the demo folder by refreshing the folder, custom error testing. And it lays out the printout of the variables in the default handler. So for the first one, it tells us that there's an undefined variable A. Let's have a look. And there it is, echo 3 times A, but nowhere prior to that in the script had we defined what A was. So it's simply telling us that we haven't defined variable A. In the second one, it says the string length function expects exactly 1 parameter, not the 2 that were given. You will recall that we had 3 as the second parameter. In the final example, it's simply printing out the MySQL error result, duplicate entry for ABCD, very similar to a previous example we dealt with for the test item value. Now, that printout, MySQL error, was clearly not trapped by the error handler of PHP. So MySQL errors are not trapped by the error handler in PHP. You have to rely on the MySQL error function itself. There is much debate about the usefulness of these inbuilt error handling functions. My personal view is that error handling is so important that it should all be hand-coded to meet the very specific issues that each error or class of error might entail.